What is going on, swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we'll be going over that devastating, insipid loss to Melbourne the other night. So let's run that intro, jump straight into it. Just before we do jump straight into it, of course, follow me on Twitch, Swoop Luke. I will definitely be streaming. I've got a new setup. And I cannot wait to show you guys me playing games, I guess. So that's Swoop Luke, Instagram Swoop Luke, and you know the rest, TikTok and Twitter Swoop Luke. But if you're a new swooper and you watch me for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like what you're seeing and like what you're hearing. I would really appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. And if you're a returning swooper, welcome back. Thank you so much for returning. Means the world to me. So now let's just jump into this review. So, God, there is not a lot to talk about in the way of any sort of positivity coming through this game. Injuries left, right, and centre. Melbourne out-hunted us, outplayed us. And it's hard doing this review, and I've been down all weekend because of this game, and I'm sure most of you have as well. It's not a nice feeling, and I get, we can lose games. I know no one's going to go through a season undefeated, and I get that. I get teams lose games. There has to be a winner, has to be a loser. Unless there's a draw, then you're both losers, because how do you draw a game like this? Anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is that I get that we can't win every single game, but it hurts more when the team doesn't show any intent, any bravery, any dare, any dash. And it just feels like, it's back to that 2014, 2017 team. And it seems like 2018 was so long ago. But this game, all credit to Melbourne, they just wanted like the final spot, that top 8 sort of spot more than we did. I know we're sitting 7th, but we got teams breathing down our necks now. This was a real 8-point game, and now we're back into that, 11th to 7th category. But in saying that, we are only 6 points behind 3rd place. But, that's neither here nor there at the moment. We've got to focus on just finishing in the 8 first. From the word go, Melbourne were just came out firing. They kicked 3 goals in that first quarter. We kicked 1 right at the end by Ben Reid. But the second quarter was where all the damage was done. Melbourne kicked 7 goals in the second quarter. And it wasn't just 7 goals because we weren't playing well. It's hard because we did play semi-well. We showed a lot of pressure. It's just that we lacked energy. It looked like we were tired, and I get it. 4 games in 14 days. It's fucked. It's absolutely crazy. And I know Geelong have done it as well, but, we're travelling to 4 states. I don't want to make excuses, but we just look tired. And you can see that when most of Melbourne's goals in that second quarter came from, their great counter-attacking, credit to them. They were great at the counter-attack, but it was getting it over the top of our defence, and Melbourne players were just free because our defenders were just nowhere to be seen. And for a defence that was airtight. I'm talking airtight. I'm talking, fish being able to breathe underwater airtight. Now we're just like sand through hands, just falling right through like a sieve almost. And it's not good to see. But like I said, that second half, we only kicked 1 goal. And I'm absolutely sick of these sort of quarters and these sort of games. In a game where Melbourne didn't have Max Gawn, they didn't have Luke Jackson, they had Braden Preuss rucking, and, he's going up against Grundy, who at the moment looks like a shadow of his former self. You'd think that we would dominate the centre clearances and in the centre. And we did. Hit-outs were good. Clearances were good. We were winning all in the major categories, but the midfielders just weren't doing anything with it. When we had the opportunity to go forward, we would just bomb along in hope. It did help that Ben Reid was there clunking some marks and kicking some goals, but when he goes down with that hamstring injury, what can you do? But this game plan is just insane. There is literally not much to like about this game. The first like would be that we're still in the top 8 somehow, We're sitting 7th, 6 points from Geelong in 3rd place. We're not going to... I don't think we'll finish top 4 unless something happens. We flick on a switch and then we come out and win every single one of our games and sneak in there somehow. But I don't see that happening because we do verse high-caliber teams. But I like that we're still in the top 8. Gives me a little bit of hope that we might play finals this year. Another thing I did like is Taylor Adams and the way he goes about it. Yes, he gave away 4 free kicks, but his disposal efficiency was a little bit better. And in a team that looked like they weren't trying, they were off the pace, ball watchers, Taylor Adams is just in and under, you know, trying to will this team over the line. And he looked like a future captain in waiting. We just didn't see that from anyone else. So I did like how Taylor Adams went about his game. And, you know, it just looked like he wanted to win the game off his own back. And credit to him. And that's literally all I liked from this game. And you probably could find points and I'd love to read them, but I cannot find anything else that I liked about this game besides those 2 things. And they're barely 2 things that I liked about this game. Dislikes, this is where it gets really interesting. That mid-forward connection, we don't have it. We don't have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. If game plan A doesn't work, game plan B is to keep doing game plan A. That's what it feels like at the moment. Like, look at these stats here. Efficiency inside 50s. 41 inside 50s for 13 shots. That's efficiency of 32%. In the first half, Melbourne had 20 inside 50s for 10 goals. We had whatever inside 50s, probably about the same, for 6 goals. For 5 goals. How does that equate? We're having more of the ball, more clearances. We're getting our hands on it first, and then it's just that lack of connection going forward. And that has been the lack of connection going forward has been there since that West Coast game, and we just haven't been able to get it back. Another thing I disliked are all these injuries. The Mychik injury, that was one of the worst knockouts that I've seen, you know, watching football. But that's not something that comes down to soft tissue. That's not something that's, you know, can be planned for. That's an unfortunate accident, and best wishes to him. By all reports, he's on track, and, you know, that 9-day break might help. But, you know, if he plays next week against the Roos, who knows? But that Ben Reid injury, this is his hammy at the moment. It's just like, it just went ding, and then that's it. And now we don't know the extent of that injury. We don't know if he's played his last game. He's probably played his last game. And what sucks about that is he took a couple marks, kicked 2 goals, and I love Ben Reid. I love him. Could have been a goal-kicking legend at this club had it not been for his soft tissue injuries that have just riddled his entire career. Another thing I disliked, and I mentioned it before, our game plan was shit. Everything else, everything that we did was crap yesterday. But I dislike, one, the umpiring was atrocious. And no, if we got a couple of these umpiring decisions, we would have won the game. That wouldn't have happened. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fairness throughout it all. That the taking out of the legs by Viney onto Steele side bottom. Viney gets the free kick. But then the same thing happens to Viney like 7 minutes later, and it's Viney's free kick. There's just no consistency. You saw that in the Carlton Fremantle game. You're seeing it throughout the AFL. There's just no consistency within these umpires, and the AFL won't admit that they're ever wrong. Like, I get it. You don't want to ridicule your employees, but they're never going to admit that they're wrong, and it's just pissing me off. Also, what I dislike is the schedule that the AFL gave us. 4 games, 14 days. I get it. We all have to do it. I get it. Stop before you comment, please. I understand every team's doing it. Geelong's doing it. Hawthorn's doing it. Whatever. But 4 games, 14 days, going from Perth to Queensland to South Australia, back to Queensland, you know, in 14 days. That's absolutely ridiculous. Go from Perth to Queensland, play Sydney and Melbourne, fly down, play the South Australian teams, Port Adelaide, and then fly back to Queensland. Why do you have to go up, down, up, down? It's just air miles, absolutely ridiculous. And I get they're not walking there, they're not busing there. But it's still, you know, after that Adelaide game, the guys were on a plane, like half an hour or an hour later, they arrived back in Queensland at about 2 a.m, having the sleep. Then the next day is pretty much a write-off, just recovery. So it's just like, it's, you know, it feels like it's anyone but Collingwood at the moment. That's the AFL's mentality. And yeah, you know, I'm definitely biased, but what can you do? I'm a Collingwood supporter. Special mentions. Who can we give special mentions to? You know, no one really deserved that special mention. There was nothing that I could see that I loved about this game. So why am I going to give special mentions? And I'm not just going to pick apart any little thing just to make myself feel good or make the team feel good. If I shouldn't feel good about this performance, it was absolutely shit house. Maybe less time making TikToks and less time on Instagram stories. And how about we put that effort into the game? How about that? Huh? So this is the section where recently I've been getting clips from different areas of the game, but you know, I don't think you guys want to watch a 2.5 hour video because I would have just put the whole game in there. That's where we went wrong. That second quarter, you know, conceding 7 goals. We didn't kick 2 in a row for that whole game, and that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't like it at all. But like I said, I don't want to put 2.5 hour game into this because you're not going to watch it again. Who would want to watch that again? But the thing is, our intent was there. We did pressure. We did, you know, a couple of holding the ball decisions don't go your way. Then you start dropping your heads. And then, you know, you just drop off. That second half, we kicked 1 goal in the third quarter, then 0 goals in the fourth. You don't win games of football like that. If we were trying to get a comeback going, that you don't win like that. It was just an atrocious game throughout. So where it went wrong, from the start to the finish, that's where it went wrong. Look, I just want to keep this as a review because I will be deep diving. And now that we've got a 9-day break, I can do an extra bonus video. I will be deep diving what is going wrong this year, comparing it to the last couple of years and to that 2014, 2017. So do keep an eye out for that. Probably Wednesday or Thursday that'll come out. So I'm pretty keen for that. But I'd love to know your thoughts as always. Leave them in the comment section below. I love it. I honestly do really enjoy it. So leave it down below and I will reply to comments this time. I'm so sorry. Just lazy. But I will reply to comments this time, I promise. Anyway, guys, that's been my review. Not much to say about this game. Atrocious, insipid. Let's bounce back. Onto the next one. Let's lick our wounds. Onto the next one, as Buckley would say. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.
Ooh la la.
The taking out of the legs, Taylor Adams. That taking out of the legs of Steel Side Bottom by Jake Viney. Oh my god.